need to educate you guys on what soft life actually means.
Let's do it.
We're exhausted.
Hoes.
Okay, we are exhausted. That is it. We want a life where love does not equal struggle. We want a life in which there isn't a necessity to be combative and to always have your guard up and be hyper vigilant about every little thing, because as difficult as the world is for Black men, it is equally as difficult for Black women.
Hello and welcome to Listen to Black Women. Just us, okay? Focus on this side of the stage is what we're gonna do. Now, I'm L'Oreal, and of course, I have my lovely girl with me, Elle Varner.
I wanna know how we build a stronger, real community for us.
Melissa Ford.
As a Black woman to have survived in this industry, I am not without my scars.
And we have to welcome our brother show, or do you say sister show?
You call it whatever you want. It's 2023, we're here.
Listen to Black men.
Hey!
Okay, of course we have Melsh Jones.
I'm accountable for everything. I make a choice not to communicate because I don't want to feel vulnerable.
We have Jeremy here with us as well.
I feel like that means emotional intelligence, being in tune with what you bring to the table.
And Tyler Chronicles.
I'm just trying to say, y'all, it's not right. You can put your hand down. It's not right.
I mean, we have to start out swinging because this is gender wars, right? Okay, so the conversation with men versus women, that's been going on for quite some time now, right?
Too long.
But now everybody has a microphone, everybody has a podcast, and obviously this conversation is not safe from none of those podcasts. And you start to see things and you're going through things in your relationship, and of course, things pop right up. Well, if he's doing this, he must be a narcissist. Now you arguing with them like, you're a narcissist. You know, so what are y'all getting from social media right now, or what do you think is the main problem that we're having when it comes to men versus women, right?
The problem with social media is it's like people take how many likes, how many views as validation, right? If this person that posts whatever they post and they say my stance is narcissism is this, or my experience that all men act like this, and they get millions of views or hundreds of thousands of likes, the narrative starts to be formed that that's actually true.
Yeah.
And then they try to compare that post to a real life situation or whoever they're experiencing stuff with, and try to put that label on that person without actually communicating and getting to the bottom of whatever the issue may be.
There's no cognitive thinking, right? Like,
so you
rely
on the post.
As a grown ass adult, as a grown adult, I did it for y'all.
He's annoying.
As a grown adult, if I see anything pop on my timeline and it says, all men, I'm scrolling. All women, I'm scrolling. Because I'm gonna look at the person who's saying it, and 9 times out of 10, they in a dark room in front of a microphone, yelling and spitting on the microphone. I already know they have not interacted with enough men or women to have a valid opinion to say, all men, all women.
I think the problem is whenever we see headlines like all men do, all women are, it's treating each group like they're a monolith. And that is where we fail. And we also fail when we use terms like men versus women, because immediately that sets us up as opposing forces. And that we're enemies. You know, and so that's where progress dies.
But is this happening everywhere, or is this mainly in the Black community where we see men versus women?
Social media has created a lane for people who have no expertise, no validation. They've created a space there's an open marketplace. And the marketplace is broken Black women. That is the marketplace. And if they can keep giving you content that's going to speak to your brokenness, you'll never need to get healed. And if you get healed, you don't need them anymore.
Why do you?
Wait, 1 second. Back up. Did you say the marketplace is broken Black women?
That's what he
For
said.
them, yes.
Okay.
I'm not saying the marketplace. I'm not saying all women are broken. I'm saying the marketplace.
I feel like
that's
we
what
should, I feel like it should be broken people, because there's a marketplace for broken men and broken women.
Right.
And basically these are people that require therapy. The vast majority of us require some level of therapy, and a lot of us lead with our trauma. We speak from our trauma.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We project our trauma.
But that's not who these guys.
They're hoping for that.
It speaks to something.
That's not true.
All he does is sit in the room. Hey, he the DeVry man. Hey, that man, you let him do that to you, he don't like you, he hates you. And then now you sit here and be like, you know what? He do hate me.
So
I
you
feel like that's where the problem and the divide is created, in which men look at and refer to those types of men as simps. I can't believe how many times I see in comment sections whenever there's a man who has the ability to critically think and actually seems to place value in women beyond their physical selves, beyond their sexual contributions, that other men call him simp, and I'm just
there's
like,
two different
because they think of it as like pandering.
No, I didn't call him a simp for that, right? I've been called. You can go down all my social media platforms. Anytime I speak positively
a lot of people don't like your mouth.
about women. That's
No, I'm joking.
anyone that speaks whenever I'm talking that talk, oh, I'm a simp. Oh, I'm a simp. But here goes the thing. I'm not leaning to any side. I'm sitting here right in the middle. Hey, this is our problem, men. This is the problem we dealing with over here, and this is why we dealing with this problem for women. They not doing that. What they doing is saying, all right, I got something. Hit record. He hates you. He don't respect you. They're banking on women to stay broken. He's banking on that. Because the minute they're not, they don't need to watch it anymore.
He's basically talking about confirmation bias. You know what I'm saying? You seek out the information that validates and confirms for you what your thinking is, you know, and that in itself is extremely harmful.
And it's really systematic if you look at it historically in terms of the black man versus the black woman. It goes back to the crack era and trying to get men out of the house, and then the woman would have to pick their child over the man, because if you had a man in the house, you couldn't get welfare, and then moved on to a whole bunch of different things. So it's like it's always been kind of a divide, and I think it's been systematic, and I think it's part of that system that's in our algorithm, that's in the music, that's in everything now.
I want to know how we move forward and begin to build a stronger, real community for us.
I feel like the men have to lead in that situation, and y'all never do. To be honest, it's always the women that are starting the conversation.
And a lot of that's
continuing it.
But that's another issue that keeps coming up, is men accusing women of becoming more masculine, and the flip side is women saying, well, men have become way more feminized, and it's just like, I don't think it's as black and white as that.
Yeah.
I think that's
You know what I'm saying?
I think that's systematic as well. Like if the men are being pushed out of the household, a woman kind of has to become a masculine figure and be able to run that household. You know what I mean? So I think that has been systematic over time, and I think it is true. A lot of the narrative has been, I don't need a man for anything. I could do it by myself type situation.
Because you don't have a choice.
But no, I'm saying it's been pushed though. It's not the first time you
I'm
heard
exhausted.
it.
But we have a choice.
You know what I'm saying?
I know,
I'm exhausted.
but that's what you hear though.
It goes back.
We rarely hear a woman saying, I'm exhausted. We rarely hear that.
Oh my God. Well,
Nah, they saying that.
Well, let me just say it.
Oh, well,
y'all keep disagreeing with everything I say. Like I ain't.
Allow me to educate. Let me tell you something. Allow me to educate you guys on what soft life actually means.
Let's do it.
We're exhausted. Okay, we are exhausted. We want a life where love does not equal struggle. We want a life in which there isn't a necessity to be combative and to always have your guard up and be hyper vigilant about every little thing, because as difficult as the world is for black men, it is equally as difficult for black women.
Double.
And I don't think
Probably harder.
Double.
It's harder.
And I think that what we enter into in these conversations is oppression Olympics.
That's true,
who
too.
has it worse, the black man or the black woman out in the streets? Child, both of us.
We all got it hard.
Both of us. We gotta have
we
each other's
talked about
back
But
kind of
see,
thing.
I will say this,
talked
there's
about
no accountability really, because if you think about what you just said, and you said it several times, the black man is being pushed out of the house. Sometimes y'all leaving.
Well, that's part.
Stop acting, but hold on, stop
all part
acting
of it,
like it's
yeah.
just because y'all are being pushed out because of what's going on with the system.
Well, that had to go systematically,
No.
yeah.
Sometimes you're walking on out on your family.
Right.
Okay.
Also,
Sometimes it's true. Thank you. Sometimes.
That's very true.
Sometimes, but I think accountability is the first step that we have to do, and that's on both sides, right? But we can't keep blaming what's going on outside of the home when you are the person that's supposed to be controlling the home, correct?
Yeah.
So let's not talk about what they're doing out there. What are you doing
Providing
to change it
for
in
home,
here?
not controlling them.
Also
Providing,
just being
whatever you need
supportive.
to do.
Just being supportive of that black woman. If she is exhausted, empathize with that.
I think
what I'm saying?
what would lead to a lot of change, and not just a lot of internet banter and fodder, is, and I'm being so serious, what Melissa just said. And that's what needs to be pushed. Not us arguing and laughing and, oh, what you said? Black women are exhausted. I never heard that. Here's why black women are exhausted.
Yes.
Here's what, that right there. Because now, it goes back to what I said, now we have a choice. We just heard this black woman and 2 black women flanking in a room full of black women say, So now we heard it. And now once it hits that internet, once it hits social media, now you have a choice. All right, man, am I gonna argue this? That's what we typically do, right? We typically avoid accountability, like, oh man, but what about the black men? No, we talking about the black woman.
Every time.
How do we provide? How do we make them safe? She's telling us how to do it. So now this need to be the clip that runs, and this need to be the clip that put in front of everybody's face that say, oh, I love black women, I protect black women, support black women. And then let's see how you move from there.
Okay, and the winners are black women.
Always. We weren't even in it.
Okay, so make sure y'all also check out Listen to Black Men. This is Listen to Black Women, okay? And we will see you next time. Make sure y'all go to MadameNoire.com for this and more episodes. Make some noise for yourselves.
Happy holidays.